Greetings, fellow traders. Paul here. It's time for the daily market wrap for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's check and see where we left off the market here today. So SPX getting into that weekly gap, monthly chart green, up 18 points today. Weekly chart, look at that, starting to chip away at this open gap up there. We got a lot of strength here at the end of the day, even though the daily chart didn't get much volume on it. We got out of that inside day range, still a pretty narrow range today, 26 points. But like I said, we're just kind of chipping away at that open gap right there. Let's take a look at the SPY and see how it behaved today. We caught a couple trades on SPY today. Again, still a little decreased volume right here. It's a slow volume moving its way up. Doesn't mean it's not moving up. It's a slow volume moving its way up. So, not a lot of, super excitement in that one. But but it is working its way up right here. It did give us some interesting trades today. At the open, members did really well with this long right here. We actually shorted right here. This is a great little breakdown right here. Let me get the trend lines up right here. So we get this. Right, so we got a nice little breakdown right here, and then once we finally cleared a couple of these key levels right here, we got a nice sharp move to the downside. I was hoping we get to the 15 orb range. We're going to end up taking stops right around here. Then we reversed pretty hard off of it. Got right to these signal zones right here, and then we finally broke out again out of that triangle we were pointing out this morning right here. That's the top of the triangle here on SPY. A little bit of a pullback right here, but then it worked its way up at the end of the day. We also had like 1 point something million dollars in the buy on the MOC. So pretty interesting stuff with that. So let's take a look at the S&P futures, and you take a look at our signal zone levels here that we like to use. So you can see how important it was, right? This is your drop-based drop area right here. So we had an upper shadow off of that into the end of the day, right, where we're pulling back here after hours. Microsoft not really helping things, but 3 white soldiers up here into the end of the day. So that was always a nice one. That's always a nice thing. But then we had this this big push right here off of those lows after we took this nice down move. Came back up here, strong move into the signal zone. We scalped this one here to here, right? Pulled back a little bit, held the signal zone, worked its way up, and then got to the next signal zone up. So some pretty cool stuff there. Say with the MES. Okay, so MES again, double inside 15 right here. So let's just kind of keep an eye on this trend line, see how it holds throughout the evening, and where we go by the time we nice little channel right there. By the time we do our live stream later, so good stuff with that. Let's stay with the Qs. So Qs a little bit of a pullback right there after hours on the Microsoft news. So let's see how that holds. Tesla is reporting tonight, so we'll take a look at that in a little bit. IWM. Again, actually a little bit stronger than the rest, a little bit stronger than normal. So it's hanging out over the 200-day moving average right here. The ADMA is catching up to it. So again, let's see if it can get above these levels here on the IWM. So Apple was kind of blah today. It was a little bit chopping around, but it's still holding its trend line, still holding the ADMA on that one. So just a choppy day on Apple day. A little double inside 15 up here towards the end of the day. But that's what we had there. So Tesla. So pretty cool stuff right here, guys. We got some nice volume out of this. Some members caught this to the long side and to the short side. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes we have traders, who go long, they're like the volume comes up here, and as soon as they get out, right, some other traders jump in the group, jump in and short it. They're like, oh, if they think the move's over, let me go ahead and short. So it's pretty funny, but it gave a nice down move right there. So really sharp stuff, guys. The premium's really high on this one. I'm really excited to see which way Tesla goes after hours. So big trade in the group today, of course, is AMD. We pointed this out on the live stream at the open today. Cleared a lot of these levels right here. Just give a super move up right here. A little bit of bold flag for another push up here. Big triangle here, and just couldn't get the energy. I mean, guys, this thing's ATR today was huge, right? So it was a 5.03 range, right? It's like almost double the average true range of AMD. So it gave a big move today. I'm really interested in seeing if we get like a nice pause day yesterday. So congratulations to AMD for getting out of the chop slop today. You gotta love it. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at BBB, just BBY, BBY. So nice gap and go today. So it did give some tradable setups here at the open as it cleared its pre-market highs and gave a nice move on that one. So let's see if it gets any follow through over today's highs into tomorrow. And again, Microsoft, they beat on earnings, they beat on revenue, so it makes sense here that it's down here after hours. So I'm sure they'll come and say something that algos interpreted something else, like they expected, a higher, the real thing we were looking for was the real theory, is, their cloud number to be higher. Then that's the reason they flush it down. So I mean, we'll see how it goes right here. So, but anyway, good numbers for Microsoft. So let's see if the dip becomes viable on that one. Tesla, of course. So jumping all over the place here as we head into its report here. I think they report at 5:30 Eastern time. So that should always be interesting, and we'll see how that conference call goes. on that one. CMG already reported, so that's an interesting one. That was all-time highs. And just flushed down a little bit here, kind of back and forth here after hours. They did have a beat on some stuff, but they're not doing any guidance going into there. And then the only one that's kind of interesting, maybe we'll take a look going into tomorrow, is Twitter. So they report in the morning too. So I'd like to see what they have to say about their hacking and all that stuff. So see how that went on Twitter. So a little bit of a doji day today. Let's see if that decides to establish direction on that one. A couple other ones just to look at real quick. So Netflix, again, we're still chopping in this range right now. So it hasn't quite given a direction yet, but we're going to keep an eye on it. And then JP Morgan. Okay, so JP Morgan is still chopping around after earnings right here, so still within this big triangle range. But a couple ones to keep on the radar going into the next couple days to see if they can establish a move after earnings. So good stuff, guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the free YouTube live stream tonight on the Bubblehead channel. Be sure to subscribe here and hit the notification button so you can see us there and see when we go live. And we'll talk to you guys then. So until then, stay healthy out there. Remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.